Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The duo, that's Professor Wole Soyinka and Olusegun Obasanjo, had never in a long while been on the same page concerning issues that have to do with this country. But this time around, Wole Soyinka, after possibly going through the write-up or the speech of President Olusegun Obasanjo, had decided to also make mention of some of the things that he has discussed, and he is backing Obasanjo up, telling Nigerians that what we have experienced in terms of disintegration of the country, that it has never been like this before. As we all know, this country is facing a very serious issues right now. When we're talking about disintegration, the country is tilting towards that, because right now you can see what is going on in the north, in the south, in the west. Insecurity is topmost on the list of the problems that we have in this country. And also you see that we are seeing different secessionists coming, or secession groups. Biafra had been long there. Now we have Oduduwa. Other persons also are daily getting tired of this country, and people are really speaking out. Expected revolution that we've been hearing from the mouth of Sowore seems that it may possibly be a reality, because things are already getting out of hand. But we're looking at Wole Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka, what he has to say to Nigeria in respect to the issue of the vision that we are currently experiencing in this country. No unity. Every day what we hear is disintegration, which is resulting to different kind of thing in the country. And according to the news, the elder statesman and playwright Professor Wole Soyinka has said the country is more divided as never before under the current administration of Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired. Soyinka, in a statement signed from his autonomous residence of Ijigba, Ndia Aba Estate, Abeokuta, Ogun State, on Tuesday, titled Between Dividers in Chief and Dividers in Law, said though not a fan of ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo, but embrace any accurate reading of this nation as a contraption teetering to the age of total collapse. Obasanjo last week said the country was slowly becoming a failed state and more divided under the Buhari regime. But the presidency reacted to the comment by describing Olusegun Obasanjo as a divider in chief. Soyinka said, I am notoriously no fan of Olusegun Obasanjo, general, twice former president and co-architect with other past leaders of the crumbling edifice that is still generously called Nigeria. I have no reason to change my stance on his record. Nonetheless, I embrace the responsibility of calling the attention to any accurate reading of this nation from whatever source as a contraption teetering on the very verge of total collapse. We are close to extinction as a viable committee of people supposedly bound together under an equitable set of protocols of cohabitation, capable of producing its own means of existing and devoid of a culture of sectarian privilege and will to dominate. The Nobel laureate stated that on African Day, May 2019, organized by the United Bank of Africa, he similarly sees an opening to direct the attention of this government to warnings by the Otafam over the self-destruct turn that the nation has taken, urging the wisdom of heeding the message, even while remaining chary of the messenger. The Akugun of Isara said that advice appeared to have fallen on deaf ears, or that advice appeared to have fallen on deaf ears. In place of reasoned response and openness to some serious dialogues, what this nation has been obliged to endure has been insolent distractions from garrulous and cozened functionaries, apologists, and sectarian opportunists. The nation is divided as never before, and this reaping division has taken place under the policies and conduct of none other than President Buhari. Does that claim belong in the realm of speculation? Does anyone deny that it was this president who went to sleep while communities were consistently ravaged by cattle marauders, were raped and displaced in their thousands and turned into beggar all over the landscape? Was it a different president who, on being finally persuaded to visit a scene of carnage, had nothing more authoritative to offer than to advise the traumatized victims to learn to live peacefully with their violators? And what happened to the police chief who had defied orders from his commander in chief to relocate fully to the trouble spot? He came, saw, and bolted, leaving the native to their own devices. I am disciplinary, any disciplinary action taken against countrymen, was it a spokesman for some ghost president who chortled in those early yet controllable stage of now systematized mayhem, gleefully dismissed the main burial of victims in Benue State as a stage show for international entertainment? Did the other half of the presidential megaphone system not follow up, or was it proceed with the wisdom that the brutalized citizenry should learn to bow under the yoke and negotiate, since only the living can enjoy the dividend of legal rights? Those were the words of Wole Soyinka. It sometimes his write-up seems to be a little bit difficult to understand, but all what he's pointing at are some of the things that have been happening in this country where actions ought to have been taken, but rather what we experienced were words that were less authoritative. For example, what happened in Benue? Most of the time, when those incidents come up, what we hear is so uninspiring. It clearly shows that, men, you guys are second class citizens. Imagine the number of persons that were buried some 2 years ago in Benue. There was no frantic, there was no serious disciplinary action taken against those who were culprits. And these are some of the things that make us to get divided, because from all indication, I feel I'm not special. That's what you hear people say. Look at what is happening now in Kaduna State. Kaduna State had been a state comprised of the north and the south. But right now, these guys are, the Southerners are saying, give us a new state, because despite the fact that things are happening, nobody seems to really care about us. Even those who seems to be the voice of the voiceless, who seems to be representatives of the holy martyred, they are being pursued and run after seriously. So right now, Wole Soyinka also tends to present all the things that have happened thus far and said that with all of these things happening and no response from the presidency, that division, one can say with all amount of surety that division or disintegration is inevitable, except there is a wake up call from all and sundry, and especially from those at the central, concerning the situation that we are currently seeing. And I feel at this point where it seems that those who were antagonists are now best of friends, it therefore means that there is a switch in the political interest, not just a switch for their personal selfish gain, but everyone wants to unite and show the current administration that something is seriously wrong and that they are doing little or nothing about it. It's a serious issue. I tell you the whole truth. It has never been like this before. Look at the level of killing. Now, as I'm talking to you, there are a lot of issues that have popped up. A DSS person have already been captured and killed, despite the fact that they have the DSS or whoever had raised 5 million naira ransom and paid. We've also heard of kidnap of someone who is an ex-US military in Ekiti State, and one person is killed in the process. Now, you come to realize that These guys have gone past just fighting the citizens. All what they are trying to prove now is that even with your military force on ground, we can dissolve this country called Nigeria. So you see that the state has already failed woefully. If nothing is done about it, I'm sorry to see that the experience that we are going to have in the nearest future may be such that everybody will have to be defending themselves. No wonder many people have queued up behind the person of the Benue State governor, who said that at a point like this, responsible citizen, since the government seem to lack, the way without on the issue of handling security, then responsible citizens should be given the right for them to go ahead, go around with their gun so that they can protect themselves from any form of exploit by these so-called militias. And I feel at this point I'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What do you think about what Wole Soyinka